It's great to have you again on Gist Nigeria from the BBC and Channels Television. Here we follow stories on social media, in the news, and dissect them. I am Wali Fakile. Now to our top story. The World Food Programme says 64.3 million Nigerians do not have enough food. The UN agency reveals that food insufficiency in Nigeria rose from 29% to 32% over the last 3 months. For so long, Nigeria has relied on clusters of subsistence farming, but is this enough to ensure food sufficiency? In this story, Gist Nigeria, Zainab Bala examines the challenges of farming in Nigeria and how it's affecting food supply.
Abdullahi wakes up to hunger pangs whenever he's unable to find paid employment for the day. He understands that the possibility of his family's next meal is not assured. Abdullahi is one of millions of Nigerians facing food inadequacy, a situation the World Food Programme says has grown increasingly worse. The World Food Programme says almost 2/3 of Nigerians are unable to secure 3 square meals. This figure amounts to 64.3 million people. At the heart of the problem is a mix of factors affecting food production. To get a sense of how dire the situation is, Gist Nigeria visited north-central Nigeria's Benue State, once hailed as the food basket of the nation.
We still have a lot of work to be done to be able to maintain that title.
Ame Joseph and Thomas Nongo are commercial rice and livestock farmers. They say farming in Benue has been more challenging lately.
This year, I think it was early October or late September. Up to now, we have not experienced any rain.
With irrigation farming, we have the added cost of having to fuel our water pumps, which brings up additional costs.
Agriculture is also a mainstay in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria, where Nigerian rice species, Ofada rice, is grown almost exclusively. Ijishola Olusegun owns about 330 hectares of land and has been an Ofada rice farmer for at least 15 years.
The chemicals we buy a few years ago have doubled in price. Fertilizer, due to Ukraine-Russia crisis, have also upsurged.
Other rice farmers here say they are also feeling the pinch.
Nǹkan tí àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ ń sọ, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ ń sá kúrò lórí oko tí wọ́n ń sọ pé kò sówó, kò sí nǹkan kan. Most of it ló máa ń jẹ́ pé àwọn màálù máa bàjẹ́. Tá a bá dẹ̀ ṣe pé bóyá a sọ pé a fẹ́ lé wọn, wọ́n kù àwọn náà máa sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ bá wa jà.
Victoria Ayedu, a rice processor, tells Gist Nigeria that production at her rice mill has been depleting over the years.
Before, we used to run the mill at least from Monday to Friday because there are enough of raw material to work with. But now, when there's no much raw material to lay our hands on, it has really reduced the length at which we work at the factory, and which has reduced to at least 3 times in a week.
Traders in West Africa's largest food market, the Mile 12 market in Lagos, southwest Nigeria, say prices of vegetables and other farm produce have been spiraling out of control.
Kwando ana yin shi 10,000, 8,000, 12,000 ana sayarwa. Kasancewar yana zuwa da yawa kuma lokacin sanyi ne wannan.
If you go take your money, go not say you want buy transfer, people know they collect transfer, they go say they want cash.
Customers here tell Gist Nigeria they are also feeling the strain as fewer farm produce make it to the market at exorbitant prices.
Before we used to buy carrots 10,000, now today is 20,000. Then got the egg 5,000, today is 16,000.
From 2020 to date, the threat factors are around the COVID-19, the insecurity in many parts of the country, and then in 2022 we had this serious devastating flooding.
The Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, projects that about 25.3 million Nigerians would face acute food insecurity during the June to August 2023 lean season. A quarterly report released by the global organization shows that the figure projected is higher than the 19.45 million forecast in 2022. The 2022 Global Hunger Index released a report that showed just how severe Nigeria's hunger crisis is. Nigeria currently ranks 103rd out of 121 nations on the Global Hunger Index, an alarming position as the country has maintained its spot towards the bottom of the list for 2 consecutive years. The National Bureau of Statistics estimates that 133 million Nigerians have a multidimensional poverty status, with food insecurity being one of the criteria. Agriculture plays an integral role in the growth of Nigerian economy, yet achieving food sustainability continues to be a challenge.
We don't have mechanization that would replace human power with machine power. So we tend to want to talk about the smallholder farmer being the bottom line of agricultural production. And once they are not well catered for, the system will definitely suffer.
It's only CBN and the bank, commercial banks, are the one giving all these interventions, not agriculture.
Nigeria's Minister for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Muhammad Abubakar, recently said Nigeria has enough food to feed its population.
Food sufficiency, food security is way more complex than having enough food, right? So, yes, I agree with him. We have a problem, but the problem is a bit more complex than just I don't have enough food on my plate.
Is there any way forward?
If you look at agriculture sector all over the world, private sector drive agriculture, not government. That's the reason we always advocate of government should remove their hands on agriculture.
We also have to think about access. It goes to roads, it goes to borders, who can sell the food. It goes to policies. It goes to stopping the knee-jerk. Yes, you're going to plant within a season or 2 seasons, but you want to have a policy that lasts 100 years.
Experts believe transparency in the allocation and disbursement of a significant portion of Nigeria's annual budget to agriculture could result in changes that will ensure many Nigerians, like Abdullahi, don't have to worry about going to bed hungry. Zainab, Bala, Just Nigeria.
Well, improving farming will certainly guarantee food security in Nigeria. What are your thoughts about that story? Tweet us at Just Nigeria TV. Would like to hear from you.